I just got my driver's license back. Hell yeah. I paid $2,500 to get my driver's license back. After you pay all that money to get your license back, you don't break no more laws while you driving. I know I don't. Not for me or anybody else under any kind of circumstance. A friend of mine wanted to ride to the store. I said, cool. When we got there, he got out of my car and he got in the parking lot and the shootout broke out. Pop! He got shot in the leg. He jumped back in my car talking crazy. Rich, they shot me, man. Pull off. You see that? They shot me, man. Just pull off. I said, man, I can't go nowhere till you put your seatbelt on. Look at the ticket. Seatbelt may slow down the bleeding also. The shit works in different ways. I ain't want to get your ass a ride no way. I hate giving people rides, man. You ever give your friend a ride somewhere and you get a ticket taking him somewhere? Don't you feel like he should help pay? Yeah. That's some bullshit, ain't it? Backfired on me one time, though, you know what I'm saying? Because I hate giving people rides, you know, karma's a mud. My car broke down, you know, and I realized how hard it was to get rides from people. I couldn't even get a ride from my father from church. I had walked up to church. And after church, we was all going to Granny's house to eat dinner. I seen my dad at church. I said, yo, Pops, you know I walked up here. And since we all going the same way to Granny's house to eat dinner, is it cool if I ride with you since we going the same way? He looked at me dead in my eyes and said, no, son, we ain't going the same way. I ain't think nothing about it. You know, I just started walking towards Granny's house. On my way there, he rides right by me. I get to Granny's house, man, he there already eating. I said, hey, man, I thought you said we wasn't going the same way. He said we wasn't. Your way was walking. My way was driving. So I never ask people when I need a ride, are we going the same way? They'll flip that shit on me. It's a crazy stuff going on in the world today. It's crazy stuff trending, especially on the internet, you know. You know, what's really trending right now is, you know, the booty. You know what I'm saying? Man done fell in love with the big booty. You know, that's all we think about. That's all we pay attention to now is the booty. We don't even care what a girl's face look like no more. You know what I'm saying? Her face could look like a bowl of soup with 2 eyes in it. We don't care. She got a big booty. We'll go after her. I had a friend of mine. He dated a girl with a big booty for 6 months. He didn't know she was missing a finger until he proposed to her. He focused on the ass too long. I like telling that joke because now all the women go home and ask their man how many fingers they got. Some of y'all gonna get that shit wrong. I was single, but I'm not now. But when I was single, I wasn't one of them people who walked around moping and stuff, man. I knew there was somebody out there for my ugly ass at some point. That's right. You know? And I would find hope in certain places. You know, I was sitting at this bar one time, sitting at this table. And at the other side of this table was this cross-eyed couple. So, you know, the first thing I thought to myself was, damn, how did them two find each other? So I was curious, you know, the shit gave me hope. So I asked the dude, I said, hey man, how did y'all two meet? He said, it's crazy, we just kind of bumped into each other. I find a lot of things funny that really shouldn't be funny. You know, that seems like y'all got that same type of sense of humor, you know? For real, I do. Like, I find my friends go to jail, I find that shit funny as hell. Especially if they first time going, you know, in a small little misdemeanor and they call you on that collect call, they be so terrified. So terrified for some reason they want to put their situation where their name should go on the collect call. You heard it before. You have a collect call coming from the Marion County Correctional Facility. Inmate by the name of, come and pick a nigga up, I ain't even do shit. Press 1 to accept. You be like, who the fuck was that? I think that's Uncle. Call Daddy. It's no help like that, brother. For real. Me and my family, you know, we argue all the time. You know, they say that I should be financially better because I don't have any kids to feed or raise, you know. But they don't understand, you know. I don't tell them, but I got habits, you know what I'm saying? I gotta feed and raise them too. I try to tell them actually having habits is worse than having kids because I can't just drop my habits off in my mama's house. Hey mama, watch these habits while I take this drug test real quick. I can't do that. My sister even poke at me sometimes. She said, you ain't got no pressure in your life. You ain't even got a car note. I say, look here, I'm on drugs, I got a lot of pressure. You don't pay your car note, you might not be able to drive. I don't pay Brandon, I might not be able to walk. So can I borrow the $20 a night? I watch a lot of TV, maybe too much TV. A few days ago I watched an old movie called Rain Man, you know what I'm saying? I had never seen it, you know. My favorite part in the movie of this movie called Rain Man is when Rain Man was in this restaurant. And Rain Man watched this waitress drop all these toothpicks on the ground. I don't know if you've seen it. Drops all these toothpicks on the ground. And Rain Man just looks at the toothpicks, eyeballs them, and just looks at them and eyeballs them and knows exactly how many toothpicks is on the ground. And I thought to myself, damn, I wish I had a friend like Rain Man. Because I think the weed man been cheating me all summer. Rain Man would be bad for business in the hood for sure. I'm a big fan of dogs. One of my dogs just died, you know, like 3-4 months ago. I cried like a baby, man. I love dogs, big fan of dogs. I just don't like dog owners. I hate them. I don't even like the names that dog owners give dogs, especially my friends, because they're ignorant. A buddy of mine, you know, he bought an all-white pit bull puppy, cute little thing. So you know what he named it? He named it Cocaine. All that shit was cool until he lost it one night and he wanted me to help him find it. I said, hey brother, look here, you walk through the hood yelling cocaine, you gonna find it. You ain't gonna pause it. So you gotta think about what you're naming your dog. Plus, you know, you don't want to give your dog a name that could potentially get your kids taken away from you. You know, the principal called the next day, little Brandon fell asleep in class. He said he was up all night helping you look for cocaine? This crowd, y'all look way too mature to laugh at this stupid shit. None of this shit is political and you will learn nothing from it. When I was a kid, you know, I grew up in a Baptist church. You know, I grew up in a black Baptist church, man, which means I was terrified all the time. Terrified, man. It's a lot of stuff you see in the black Baptist church that a kid sees that he really don't understand. You see some people laughing, some people crying. You find out your grandma know how to do a backflip. And keep her hat on, goddamn. Granny, go ahead. Granny was in the terrified of church, man. I was, man. I was so afraid of church as a kid, man, I wasn't even afraid of scary movies because I had already seen everything in church. When I was 5 years old, I watched the movie Exorcist by myself and wasn't even scared. Remember the scariest part in the movie? Where the white girl head spin in circles and she throw up green slime? I wasn't even scared. I was like, Sister Jackson do that every Sunday. And we call that the Holy Ghost, where we from.
I have to just say, a lot of people, you know, are asking me, are you afraid to do this? And you know, they say public speaking is, people fear public speaking more than death. And I don't know, this didn't scare me that much, but if I was outside and someone had a gun to my head, science says I'd rather get shot in the face than come up here. So we can test that out if anyone wants to. And we're still having arguments over the death penalty. But people fear public speaking more than death, so I'm just picturing hardened criminals in prison just like, oh my gosh, I gotta give a public speech, it's 6 minutes long. I should not have killed that guy. We're still having debates about this, and science tells us if we just, I mean, maximum penalty, 10-minute public speech to a bunch of high schoolers, just get rid of the death penalty. I don't know. Yeah, I just thought of that. You notice now there are plus-size models. So that, I don't know, seems like a pretty easy personal training gig to me. Someone brings in a picture of Roseanne Barr. I want to look like this. Great. Eat a lot of carbs. Don't exercise. You can work out in my gym. It's just a couch. I'll call you every day. Make sure you took a nap. I don't know. So I'm putting a gym together for plus-size models. Just a bunch of couches I got on Craigslist. I got a Domino's frequent buyer card. Perfect. You can start right here. Just start training. Just becoming a model. Guys in the gym comparing rolls. How did you get that back roll? That is impressive. I see some people training. All right. What's going on? Gonna test out the intellectual capacity of the crowd here, but just a vocabulary joke. I'm just trying to think of another word for synonym. Yeah, Brian said I blocked him on Facebook. I don't actually have Facebook. I don't know. I figure, oh, it's okay. It's like it's a joke. I know you tried to add me, Brian. No, I don't have an account. I just didn't really find it that useful. But what is interesting is if you try to delete your Facebook account, what they put you through to delete that account is amazing. It's like they treat you like you're trying to kill yourself. Like you get into the account settings, it's like, are you sure you want to do this? Let's just take a day, think about it. I don't know if this is actually what you want to do. And then they start showing you pictures of your friends and family, like, your mom is going to miss you. Your friends are going to, you know what I'm talking about. Your friends are going to say, I'm not signing up for the witness protection program. I just want to delete my account. I don't know if people know this, but I don't know, Facebook hasn't changed that much. I mean, it's great to have new ways to annoy people and stalk people that you used to be friends with, but we actually had pictures before Facebook. These great devices called hands for sharing them, and we could just talk like people, so I think that's good. I wrote a joke about my wife, and I was telling it to her, and she hit me right in the face. I said, that's not the punchline. So I figured I should say, I'm sorry. I put a tux on, because I always put a tux on when I'm giving a formal apology. Hold on, the lotto numbers just came up, and I'm still going to work on Tuesday. Okay.
Y'all starting to buzz yet? Anybody starting to buzz yet?
Yes, sir.
Shit. To those of you that aren't, I don't appreciate that at all. Could have at least gotten high first, something. And for those of you that did, I appreciate it. Continue on. You're doing God's work. I love that phrase, doing God's work. It's so open to interpretation. You can use it for whatever you want. And I feel like that's something we don't do anymore. Nobody's open to interpretation. We take something, we roll with it for the rest of our lives. That's what that meant. I like to be a little more open. For example, I'm at the grocery store the other day reading a very, very tastefully done article on the best burgers in America. Phenomenal. Pulitzer grade shit, people. So anyway, I'm sitting there and this nice old lady walks up to me, and I feel like I should say, when I say walk, I'm being generous. She like hobbled over to me, like fucking Igor or some shit. And she taps me on the shoulder, like boop boop. That was a dramatic grand at the end of the song. My shoulder. So she taps me on the shoulder and she asks me, remember, Jesus died for your sins. To which I replied, shit, for real, I've hardly used any. Here we had a man who died for my ability to sin, and I've hadn't had sex in like 2 weeks. I was disgusted with myself. I'm not doing my part. I'm not doing my part at all. So when I walked past aisle 3 and I saw the woman with the wet wipes and tits like weather balloons, I thought to myself, what would Jesus do? The answer may surprise you. It's not just there either. Like some of our nation's most prolific people have fallen victim to our random assumptions. Like Martin Luther King Jr., right? Civil rights leader. believe that little brown boys and girls could get along with little white boys and girls. Maybe. I ask you to think outside of the box. I say, what if Martin Luther King just really wanted to sleep with white women? Kind of puts a weird ass spin on that speech, doesn't it? So it's 1963's in front of the Lincoln Memorial. Thousands of people in attendance. Women going crazy. We love you, Martin. Turn our other cheek. And he's sitting there at his podium. It's just him, and he got his cue cards. He's on his cue cards. All it says is, "Get that white girl." Staring at it. Gonna have to improvise the shit out of this. I have a dream. It's bullshit. And Martin loved everybody. That's exactly why he's dead. Because love is a disease, honestly. It really is. Nothing that makes you feel as good as it does when you have it, and as bad as you do when you don't, should be healthy for you. Like, if you think about it, you're blissfully unaware of it too until the first time it happens to you. So really, you put love in the same category as, say, crack, coke, or heroin, right? In my perfect world, love would be a Schedule I narcotic. I want police kicking in doors on Valentine's Day. Some dumbass couple sitting on the covers, having a romantic evening, champagne, listening to music, probably The Weeknd, whining about his latest overdose. So you want the police to kick in the door, they go nuts, they shoot the guy immediately because he had a rose, and they know love paraphernalia when they see it. Meanwhile, outside, you got junkies trying to buy hugs for the cheap. Come on, man, let me just get 2 G's. All right, I got your gentle embraces right here. I feel kind of bad, though. I feel bad for any minorities in that situation, because we're as good as dead as usual. Like, it's fucked up, you know, like, they're not even having a romantic evening, they're just sitting down watching reruns of Law and Order. That's when love is dead. And they still get killed. But you know, that's the price we have to pay for the loveless utopia I one day want to live in. But weeds kicked in, I'm not remembering shit I wrote. It's gonna get really awkward. You know what, I'm gonna call it quits right there. Right in the middle, I know, that's a shame. We expect more from black entertainers. We really do. I feel like I let down the race. I let down the races that look for our races to be more entertaining. Don't worry, I'll be back in the future. Maybe I might even shuck, I might jive. We don't know what the future holds. So we'll keep an eye out. I appreciate it.
So I got a bunch of one-liners and shit. I just like to play guitar and tell jokes. It kind of breaks up the monotony. So. I read in Cosmo recently that women like a guy who's funny, musically inclined, and I stopped reading it there, but it looks like she's on the whole package. There's like always only one woman that lasts. That's my demo. That's what I'm going for. As long as somebody thought it was fucking charming. I'm not psychic, but I know that if you're ever swimming in your buddy's pool, you turn to him and ask him something like, does this have that chemical that turns blue when you pee in it, you know? His answer's always going to be yes. I also know that it's going to get really upset if you wait 5 minutes, turn to him again and say something like, hey, I shit in your pool. One of the comedians brought it up earlier. She made a joke about a teardrop tattoo. Does anybody know what that, like, represents? Teardrop tattoo by the eye, it just means you murdered somebody. I was at a Subway like 2 weeks ago, and there was a guy that came into the counter, and he ordered like a tuna sub and shit, and he had a teardrop tattoo. And it was dead quiet in the Subway. Not a single fucking word until he left. And then this old lady in front of me said, why would he get that, you know? He's never gonna get a job with a tattoo on his face. Yeah, that's it. That's what's holding him back. It's not the fucking murder that he committed. It's the teardrop tattoo. Pretty sure he's not getting a job on account of all the murdering he did. It was that same. It was like right there, dude, that I realized that there's like face tattoos are essentially like a do not disturb sign for humans, you know. Lower back tattoos, pretty much the opposite. Just go take a knock on that door.
Lower back tattoo.
All right, I'm gonna open up a little bit. You know, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about myself. When I was 12 years old, my dad told me a joke that would change my life. Changed the way I looked at jokes. It's probably the reason I'm a comedian. Sat me down. He said, "Shane." He didn't really say Shane. I just like saying my name there, so you guys remember it later. Sat me down. He said, "And it's really Shane on Twitter." That's the thing. How many dads does it take to tell a bad joke? Just one. Your mom and I are getting a divorce. I said, "Dad, this has got to be some kind of sick joke." You know, he said, "You're absolutely right. It's what I told your mom when she said you were my son." It's all right, guys. My dad's dead. It's cool. I do just want to point out, I'll recap a little bit. You guys laughed when I shit in my best friend's pool. You laughed a little bit harder when my parents got a fictitious divorce, but then the hardest when my dad was actually dead. So that's cool. What a great audience. Thanks for coming out tonight. Give yourself a pat on the back. I do get a lot of shit for playing guitar and telling jokes, you know, because I don't really sing. A lot of comics kind of look down on it. So I'll just kind of give you guys the explanation of why. I do this for a couple of reasons, the first of which being, the first time I did stand up, I made that rookie mistake of picturing everybody in the front row naked, you know. Yeah. It's safe to say I killed that night. Everybody laughed at everything. It was only because they were staring at my erection for like a solid 7 minutes. Right? So that being said, the first reason I play guitar and tell jokes is that if anything like that ever happens again, you know, I just fucking cover it up, right? It's better than the book in 4th grade. The other reason is that because it's like a pretty melody, you know, I feel like I can get away with some harsher jokes that might not normally land, people might not normally laugh at, you know, so that being said, I'm going to try a couple. You guys married? You guys together?
Together, but not married.
Well, they say, if you ever find a woman that you love, you know, you want to spend the rest of your life with, settle down, get married, that you won't realize it, but something about her is going to remind you of your mom. I don't think that's true, because I don't remember my mom fucking all my friends. I can't keep that in a straight face. They also say that if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. I think that's true, especially if what you love is children. There you go, half of you laughed. Fuck the other half. That joke's not offensive. I'm getting so pissed at the people that don't laugh at that joke. I'll explain it right now. That joke's not about diddling kids. It's about the prosecution of pedophiles and the difficulties they face when trying to reintroduce themselves into the workforce. So if you didn't laugh at that joke, you're pro-pedophile. Whoever laughed at that joke doesn't get. Pedophile gets a job, so joke's on you. I did that joke in Kalamazoo last week, you know. Yeah, a lady came up to me afterwards, and she says, "You know that joke you do about the pedophiles?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I know you explained your point of view, but I feel like sometimes if you tell that to people, you might alienate your audience." I pulled her aside. I said, "Listen, lady, something you don't understand about comedy and comedians is a lot of us use comedy as a coping mechanism to get over some things that might have happened to us a little bit dark. And I'm allowed to make that joke because I was molested." And she started backing up. She's like, "Oh my God, you know, I'm so sorry." I said, "Don't be, I wasn't." So I said, I was lucky, you know. My brother, not so much. Now this half of the room is laughing. You did laugh at first, now you're laughing that my brother was actually molested. Don't feel bad, he wasn't. This is all fucking jokes. It's all an act, guys. I'm a fan of technology. I'm getting kind of upset with it, you know. It's kind of overwhelming at points now, because it's just too much to handle. I wish we could just go back to the good old days. Like, you guys remember the good old days? Like, when a selfie stick was just a dildo? Calm down, sluts. I do think we fucked up when we named that object. I think we need to switch those names around, because, like, a dildo sounds too harsh for what that object is and does, you know? Selfie stick sounds perfect for it. Sounds like a household item. Warm and inviting, the very nature of a dildo. And then on the other hand, every time I see a guy with a selfie stick, I'm like, look at this fucking dildo. It's all right. So it's at this time of my set that I like to take some requests. So does anybody have any jokes of mine that they want to hear?
Stairway to heaven.
That's not a joke, dick. No? Great fucking ego check. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for that. That's what I needed.
There you go.
All right. So here's what I'm sure everybody will know. I'm not psychic, but if you're ever swimming in your best friend's pool and you turn to him and say, I'm not gonna do the whole thing. I hate the phrase pimpin' ain't easy. I hate the phrase pimpin' ain't easy. It is easy, it's the easiest fucking job. The women literally sell themselves. That joke never really kills, but I leave it in there for me. I think it's funny. Yeah, it deserves one applaud, that's sad. In gay couples, there's no trophy wives, only Tony Awards. Dude, I'm gonna invite you to everything I ever fucking do. This guy's just clapping. That's a good one. Did you hear that? That's a good one. We're all here. We all heard the shit, buddy. Just keep it to a minimum. Inside voice. Man, I appreciate it, though. I do. I was making a bucket list with my wife the other day. You know, we took turns writing them down and reading them out loud. She got mad at me, you know? We read hers off first, and it was beautiful. It was everything you could want in a bucket list from your spouse, you know? Shit like skydive, and travel, see the world together, you know? And it ended really pretty with us like sitting in rocking chairs at a beach, looking out at the water, you know? And then she got mad at me because mine was just a list of all of her friends. It's a joke, guys. I didn't show her the fucking list. You think I'm dumb? When I was 12 years old, I was diagnosed with ADHD, you know?
What?
Yeah, hard to tell, right? Says the guy who can't control his outbursts. Start it over. I'm gonna start it over. We'll do it over. Clapping McGee. When I was 12 years old, I was diagnosed with ADHD. Third time. After this, I'm going to the fucking pool joke. When I was 12 years old, I was diagnosed with ADHD. And I always thought it was funny, because what? Did you say something? You did or you didn't? No? Maybe just lock it up next time, okay? It's a fucking packed house. Kind of rude. Oh, boy. Baseball, am I right? Baseball. I'll end on this one. I'm a fan of tattoos. I recently got a new one. I got the words "kiss me" tattooed on the side of my dick. My wife doesn't like it. She really hates when I put words in her mouth. Alright, thanks guys. Thanks for being such a good audience. Give it up for Ryan. All the other comedians you saw. Give it up for Ryan. That was a good night.